After she and her mother finished the ritual, she returned home, but she had changed drastically. This was a woman who barely talked. She would simply smile and keep things to herself. Suddenly, she became restless, argumentative, and suspicious of her husband. Remember, she had gone to her mother because she suspected that her husband was beginning to suspect her involvement in what was happening. Now, after returning home, that fear seems to overtake her. She started accusing her husband of all kinds of things. At one point, she accused him of planning to get a younger girl pregnant for the girl to give him a child. Her husband denied it and tried to calm her down, but she quickly picked up a sharp object and attacked her husband, targeting his eyes. The injury was very serious and his eyes were badly affected. He was first rushed to the hospital for emergency treatment because the injury was so serious. Arrangements were later made for him to travel to India for further treatment. He spent almost 11 to 4 months in the India receiving treatment and trying to recover. What he did not know was that before the incident took place, that his wife was already 1 month gone, like she was pregnant. While he was in the India receiving treatment, his wife remained at home with the pregnancy. During those months, she carried the baby and continued with her life while her husband was still away receiving treatment. Meanwhile, things were also changing in church. The church was not a very big church, but he has 4 branches. Suddenly, the branches started going down, one after the other. Attendance reduced, and the church were no longer doing as well as it used to be. The only church that was remaining, that was still manageable, was the church that he was personally heading before the incident happened. Like the branch that he was the one heading before the incident happened. Even one of the branches that he gave to the wife when they newly got married, the woman was not going and was not sending anybody, to go and represent her. And at the end of the day, because he spent 11 to 12 months before he returned back, he lost everything. But before he returned, his wife has given birth to a baby girl. That was almost 1 year that he finally returned home. When he finally returned home, he met his wife and the baby. As a pastor, he knew that whatever happened, people would have their own opinions. So he decided to try to make the marriage work. Besides, the voice that spoke to him inside the forest did not have any, physical evidence that his wife was responsible for everything that has happened in his life. So he tried to see everything as a terrible incident that has happened in their marriage. But deep down, he was not happy. When he went back to church, what he saw broke him. He discovered that some of his churches has been shut down. Out of all the 4 branches he had, 3 has been shut down. The only one that was still operating was the one that he was heading before the incident took place. And they have only few members now. Now he returned home from the church that he went to, see. He became heartbroken, like he was completely shattered. He was devastated. He began to think about his life. What was really happening? Where is all these things coming from? Where was he going from here? What will happen to him next minute? Then he said to himself, no, that he needs to seek God's presence. Because all this while, he realized that he had not really sat down and prayed to God to understand what was happening to him. So he made a decision. He left the house. He packed some of his things and went to his mentor church. When he got there, he began to pray. He began to plead with God. He wanted God to show him what was really going on in his life. He planned to stay for 7 days, but on the 4th day, something happened. He had a trance, and what he saw happened like a movie playing right in front of him. He said he saw everything from the day he went to pay the bride price and the secret behind the river. Everything he saw it. It was as if God was showing him the entire story, one scene after another. When he came out of the trance, he was so devastated. He ran out from the church, and in that moment, he decided that he is going to end things with his wife. He was even thinking of killing her because according to what he believed he's seen, she had hidden these things from him. But something happened before he could get home. According to him, it was as if something told his wife that something is about to happen to her. So before he could got home, she had already left. She took some of the properties that she can lay her hands on and left with her daughter. When he arrived home, there was nobody there. He was completely broken. But what hurt him the most was not only what had happened. He blamed himself. He remembered something that had happened much earlier when he prayed concerning that marriage and he mentioned this particular lady. God gave him a revelation where he was on the floor and this lady stepped on his head. When he woke up from that dream, he does not know what to do again because emotionally he has invested. So what he did was to go to his pastor's friend, to seek for advice. But deep down, he wanted to marry the lady. So when his pastor friend then told him that he should not spiritualize everything, that he should go ahead and marry this lady, he then jumped into the marriage because that was all he wanted. He blamed himself and he deeply regretted everything. He wished he could turn the hand of clock, but unfortunately he could not. And this is where his testimony teaches us an important lesson. When you're about to make a major destiny decision, especially decision as important as marriage, and you are praying about it, pay attention to what God may be revealing to you, even through your dreams. God can speak to us through dreams. So do not simply discard every dream you have. Instead, pray for the spirit of discernment. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and share it with someone who may need to hear this testimony. Thank you so much for watching, and please stay tuned for another true life story.